Biafran Liberation Army commander Gentle Diyahu clashes with Ebubeagu security forces in a heavy gun battle while 10 men were gunned down. Meanwhile, Biafran Liberation Army commander Gentle and his boys manufactured AK-49 they called Isi Nku, meaning head of wood. Reports from our reliable source claims that the Biafran Liberation Army is preparing for war, producing weapons and standing firm against Nigerian forces. Biafran Liberation Army commander Gentle Diyahu asserts that he is not afraid of Nigerian security forces and remains in Imo State despite a bounty on his head. The Nigerian government is accused of corruption, mismanagement, and oppressing the Biafran people while enriching politicians at the expense of ordinary citizens. Nigeria's President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is heavily criticized with claims that he is corrupt, illegitimate, and involved in drug-related activities. Some critics allege that he bribed his way into power. They condemn the Nigerian government's failure to address attacks by Fulani herdsmen while allegedly targeting Biafrans instead. The Nigerian government's designation of indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, as a terrorist organization is rejected, arguing that IPOB is peaceful and recognized globally. They insist that Biafra is ready to separate from Nigeria and claims that an independent Biafra would become an economic powerhouse similar to Japan. The destruction of businesses owned by Igbo people and the labeling of IPOB as terrorists are framed as deliberate attempts to oppress the Igbo ethnic group. Meanwhile, the Biafran Liberation Army has vowed to defend Biafran land and retaliate against Nigerian forces if attacks continue. They warn that they are prepared to confront the military. They declared that Nigeria military have 60 days to leave Biafra, implying that action will be taken afterward. Bottom of form. Now, let me sit down and tell you a story about something I recently came across. A story that feels almost larger than life, full of passion, defiance, and a heavy mix of hope and anger. I'm talking about the events unfolding in a part of Nigeria that has seen its share of struggles, where a man known as Gentle Diyahu and his band of fighters have taken a stand in a very dramatic way. So grab a cup of tea or coffee and settle in, because this is a long, winding tale of clashes, weapon-making, and a call for freedom that's stirring up emotions in a land that many call home. Not long ago, I heard news that shook me to the core. A heavy gun battle had erupted between the Biafran Liberation Army and the Ebubeagu security forces. Picture this: a tense, dangerous standoff in a place called Imo State, where every minute counted and every shot fired carried the weight of history. In this clash, 10 men lost their lives, a stark reminder that when passion meets conflict, tragedy is never far behind. The commander leading the charge was none other than Gentle Diyahu. Now the name might sound almost ironic, gentle in a world of harsh violence. But make no mistake, this is a man whose resolve is anything but gentle. Despite the risks, including a bounty on his head, Gentle Diyahu refused to back down. He stayed right there in Imo State, standing tall against forces that he claims have oppressed his people for far too long. One of the most striking parts of this story is the ingenuity that's come to light amidst the chaos. While many would expect fighters in such conflicts to rely on arms supplied from outside, Gentle and his team took a very different route. They began manufacturing their own weapons, a locally made AK-47 they call the Isi Nku, which when translated means head of wood. I found that name both simple and symbolic. It speaks to a sort of grassroots determination, a reclaiming of power by using what you can craft with your own hands. Imagine the scene. A group of men working with what might seem like humble materials, transforming them into instruments of war. It's like something out of a folk tale where resourcefulness meets desperation. And in this case, it also meets a desire for self-determination. For many in the region, this act of creating their own weapon isn't just about preparing for battle. It's about showing that they have the brains and the spirit to fight back, even if they don't have the high-tech gear that larger armies might enjoy. Now, if you've ever been in a situation where you feel the odds are stacked against you, you'll understand the kind of defiance that Gentle shows. Despite the heavy hand of a government many say is corrupt and oppressive, he openly declares that he isn't afraid of Nigerian security forces. In fact, he boldly tells everyone that he will not run or hide. He is right there, ready to fight for what he believes in. The Nigerian government, led by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, according to many accounts, is painted in this narrative as a corrupt and oppressive force, accused of enriching a select few while leaving the ordinary people to suffer. Critics say that the government has been more interested in lining the pockets of politicians than in protecting its citizens, especially in regions like Biafra, where people feel abandoned. They say that while attacks by Fulani herdsmen and other groups go unchecked, it's the Biafran people who are being targeted, oppressed, and even labeled as terrorists. One of the points that stirred up a lot of debate is the government's designation of the indigenous people of Biafra, or IPOB, as a terrorist organization. Now, this label is not given lightly, and many in Biafra, and even some outside observers, argue that IPOB is actually a peaceful movement. They point out that many organizations around the world work for self-determination without resorting to terror. Yet in Nigeria, this peaceful plea for independence has been twisted into something far more dangerous. For Gentle and his supporters, being called terrorists is not only insulting but also a betrayal of what they're fighting for. They believe that if Biafra were to stand on its own as an independent nation, it could become as economically strong as countries like Japan. They see the potential in their people, a mix of talent, resourcefulness, and determination that has, for too long, been suppressed by a government they view as illegitimate. In their eyes, the destruction of businesses owned by Igbo people and the harsh label of terrorist are tools used to keep them down and prevent them from rising to their full potential. Perhaps the most dramatic element of this unfolding saga is the ultimatum that has been thrown into the mix. The Biafran Liberation Army has made it crystal clear. The Nigerian military has 60 days to leave Biafra. This isn't just a threat, it's a declaration of intent. After 60 days, if the military remains, the army is ready to take action, to defend their land, and to retaliate against any further attacks. I couldn't help but feel a chill when I thought about that deadline. Imagine being told that you have just 2 months to clear out or face the full force of an armed group that's already proven it's willing to stand its ground. For the people of Biafra, this is not just a military stance. It's a rallying cry for independence, a stand against years of neglect and oppression. Now, let me share with you some of the personal words of Gentle Yahoo as he spoke in a video that's been making the rounds online. I watched it, and even though the language was raw and the emotions high, there was something undeniably honest about his tone, a mix of anger, pride, and a deep-seated love for his people. He starts off by saying in his own bold way that they're upgrading and moving on very soon. There's a sense of urgency in his words, a signal that change is coming whether the authorities like it or not. As he talks, he mentions that they've even got their own engineer man working on new ideas. This isn't just a band of fighters relying on old weapons. They're actively innovating, adapting, and preparing for a future where they can stand on their own. One moment that really struck me was when he pointed out how the government had put a bounty on his head, an astonishing sum of 1 million, according to him. Yet instead of cowering, he seemed to take it as a badge of honor, a sign that what he was doing was a real threat to those in power. His defiant stance wasn't just about himself. It was a message to every person in Biafra who's ever felt neglected or oppressed. We are not afraid. We are here, and we are fighting for what is ours. It's one thing to talk about resistance, but it's another thing entirely to roll up your sleeves and start making your own weapons. In the midst of this chaos, Gentle's team began manufacturing a version of the AK-47, which they dubbed Isiinku. I found this detail both fascinating and symbolic. Here was a group that, rather than relying on imported arms, chose to take fate into their own hands by crafting what they needed locally. It was like watching a community take back its power piece by piece, using its own resources and talents. This act of self-reliance resonated with many. It's a powerful reminder that when people are pushed to the margins and told that they can't have a say in their own future, sometimes the only way to reclaim that power is to create it yourself. In the process, they aren't just building a weapon, they're building a future where they can define their own destiny, free from what they see as the corrupt and oppressive hands of their government. To truly understand what's happening in Biafra today, you have to look back at history. Many of us have heard stories of the past, of a civil war that left deep scars on the land and its people. For the Igbo people and others in the region, those memories are not just stories. They are living, breathing parts of their identity. The current struggle is seen by many as a continuation of that fight, a desperate bid to reclaim what was lost and to build something new from the ashes of the old. Gentle's words echo this historical struggle. He reminds his listeners of a time when people in Biafra had to fight tooth and nail for every scrap of independence, when every battle was a fight for survival. And even though times have changed, the core of that fight remains the same: a determination to live freely, to govern themselves, and to reject the notion that they should be ruled by a government that many feel has forgotten them. In his speeches, he doesn't shy away from calling out what he sees as the deep-seated corruption of the Nigerian government. He uses strong language, even referring to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu as corrupt, illegitimate, and even a drug lord by some accounts. Now, I know these are heavy accusations, and they come wrapped in the raw, unfiltered emotion of a leader who feels that every injustice is personal. For him and his supporters, these aren't just words. They're the bitter truth of a system that, in their view, has continuously failed them. What's particularly striking in all of this is the stark contrast between how some groups are viewed locally versus internationally. The indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, are labeled as terrorists by the Nigerian government, yet many around the world see them as a peaceful movement striving for self-determination. It's a classic case of one man's terrorist is another man's freedom fighter, a phrase you might have heard before, but one that takes on a very real meaning in this context. Imagine being in a position where your very identity is twisted by those in power. That's what many in Biafra feel when they see their aspirations reduced to a mere label, when the word terrorist is used not as an accurate description, but as a tool to suppress and silence them. For Gentle, being called a terrorist is not only a personal insult, it's a reflection of a wider injustice, a sign that the voices of his people are being drowned out by a narrative that serves only those in power. If you listen closely to the speeches and videos coming from this region, there's one message that stands out above all else: change is coming, and it will come with a price for those who have held power for too long. The Biafran Liberation Army isn't just preparing for a fight, they're sending a message to the Nigerian military and government alike. You have 60 days to leave our land. It's a clear deadline, a promise that if their demands aren't met, they're ready to take further action. This isn't a threat issued on a whim. It's the culmination of years of frustration, of watching corruption run rampant, and seeing the dreams of a people crushed under the weight of mismanagement. For many in Biafra, this deadline represents hope, a final chance to reclaim their land, to build a nation that honors their history and their identity. And for Gentle and his fighters, it's a declaration of independence, a refusal to be sidelined any longer. I must admit, Listening to these stories and watching the videos, I felt a deep mix of emotions. On one hand, there was admiration for the sheer determination of Gentle Diyahu and his comrades. Here were men who, despite the overwhelming odds, chose to stand up for what they believed was right. Their resourcefulness, their ability to craft weapons from scratch, and their unwavering defiance in the face of danger, all of this speaks to a spirit that refuses to be broken. But on the other hand, there's a heavy sadness that hangs over it all. Every bullet fired, every life lost is a tragedy. The fact that 10 men were killed in that heavy gun battle is not just a statistic. It's a painful reminder of the human cost of conflict. Families are torn apart, communities are shattered, and all the while, the cycle of violence and retribution continues unabated. It makes you wonder, in the quest for freedom and independence, how many lives must be sacrificed? A significant part of this narrative is the struggle for legitimacy. Gentle Diyahu and his supporters firmly believe that the Nigerian government has no right to dictate their future. They argue that the system is rigged, a system where corruption and mismanagement have become the norm, and where the voices of ordinary people are stifled by those in power. In their view, every policy, every decree is designed to keep them in check, to maintain a status quo that benefits only a few. This is why the Biafran Liberation Army's actions are so charged with emotion. It's not just about a military battle. It's about a fight for recognition, for dignity, and for the right to govern themselves. Gentle's speeches are peppered with references to past injustices and current abuses of power.
This is Biafran mad. We are upgrading. We are moving on. Very soon we will be writing it to Gentle mad. Biafran mad. Okay. We have gotten our engineer, man. This is Biafran mad. We are moving. I'm close now. I'm close, man. You see, Biafra is moving, man. This is Biafra Ishinko. This is Biafra Ishinko. We're moving, man. Yeah, man. See how it's moving. This is Biafra Ishinko. We are ready. The God of the land is at work. Trump, your children is moving ahead. Putin, the president of Russia. We are moving. This is Biafra mad. AK, you see cool. Yeah. We are moving. You see how it is? You see how it is? Original. This is cool from Biafra land. He's moving. We are moving, okay? Yeah. We are ready, fully ready for the war. We are moving, man. Okay. This is Ishinko, Biafra land. Biafra Ishinko. Yeah. It's AKA we are moving. You see the Ishinko? We are moving. Yeah, we are moving, man. We are moving. We are improving. We are fully ready. This is Okigwe State.
Hello friends, Biafrans, welcome to Magnetic Jigs TV. Guys, this is Gentle Diyahu. You know, the government of Imo State, Hope Uzodinma, placed a 13 million naira banquet on the head of Gentle Diyahu, and he is using a Kenga to do the job. But here is Gentle Diyahu. He is in Biafran land. He know the run away. He know the hide from anybody. You see that thing where he carry for hand, na Biafran made you. Na they manufacture am. They manufacture this particular thing. Guys, that is what I'm saying. The kind brain where Biafran get no be here. We are very, very talented. That is why Biafra will become world power in no due time if Biafran has a nation of their own. Definitely, AGIAG, Igbo sing brain, Biafra sing brain, or Monobi small thing. See the way they manufacture this thing.
We are ready to welcome them. So that they will know, they will see what we are seeing. Yes, now. We are ready to welcome you people. Trump, yeah. We hail you. Trump, you are doing the good job. You are welcome. You are welcome. You are doing the good job. This is a Biafran man. We are fully ready for the war. You see how the thing is? This is Biafran mad.
Very nice.
This is Sisenko. Nice. Yeah, it mad. Biafran mad. Very neat. You see how it is? We have something in brain. That's why these people are holding us. They don't want us to go. What the fuck? Trump, we had you. Your government, we had you.
No,
please and please. The European Union released Simon Ekman. He did nothing. He is our PM. We accept him, okay? He's a good man. He's a good man. He's a spokesman. We love him so much.
We love him so much. Man, we are real. No, they call us Facebook.
We know the shit.
We are real.
We are upgrading. This is Biafra. It's cool. As you can see. Yeah. We go about up here.
We are here live and direct, and we are real. We are real. We are real. You know, during the Biafran Nigerian Civil War, it was like that. Majority of the guns or majority of the equipment, tools that were used that time, they are locally manufactured. I'm telling you, this is exactly why you will know that Biafrans get brain or more. We are more talented. Gentle the Yahoo is telling the Musa boys that he is not afraid of them. He talked about the killing that has been going on in Biafran land for a very long time now.
The hunger has been killing the people.
Okay.
People has been dying of hunger. You have a 6 companies at the US.
Okay.
And the hunger is here wiring people anyhow.
Our money.
Okay, Buhari, this is the reason why you are holding in Amdekalo. Okay, now we know. Okay.
On top of our money.
$5 billion. You stored it at the US. 7.something million
money laundering.
In gold. You store it in US? Huh?
Money laundering.
You people are shameless people. You see how these people are going around storing our money and the people are here suffering of hunger. Oh, shameless people. Look at what they have been doing. Eastern region, Eastern governors. You have failed. You know the reason why you are keeping in Nnamdi Kanu because of what you have been getting in insecurity in the southeast. Now,
we are fully prepared.
Okay, we are fully prepared. You can see this is Ishenko life and direct.
If we know by, we we'll produce our own.
You see it? It's
not the lie, nah.
Oh, listen to it, man.
This is not the lie.
Yeah, man.
I can tell you. If we know by, we we'll produce our own.
We are producing our own today. We are launching it. Okay? We are launching it. Okay? Yeah. Biafra is moving. We are moving. You see it? It's again. 49. You see? 49.
If we know by, we we'll produce our own.
Yeah, man. You know the land. We are launching it today. Okay? Yeah. We are launching it today. This 2nd of February 2025. Share with it. Share with moving. We can't be afraid of Nigeria. Nigeria is not a nation.
We cannot be afraid no more.
We are Biafrans, okay? Biafrans have made it. Biafrans is already there before the colonization of the country comes up. You know, these days we say no for the colonization. We are joining our people, Burkina Faso, understand, and all the rest of them. We are not ECOWAS. We don't belong to ECOWAS.
No more.
We are Biafrans, okay?
No more.
Let there bear it in mind. You Tinubu, you see the fucking life that you see your miserable life. How's it going on, man? You fucking there. We are fully ready. This is a gentle Yahoo.
Now we not be
I can't be afraid of you and afraid of all your fucking Eastern leaders.
Now we
all those fucking Eastern governors and senators. All those that have set up the insecurity in Southeast. We are not afraid of them. I can never be afraid of them. Bumble clap there for them.
You go back to be one.
I go back to be. Okay? Gentle Yahoo. I am not afraid of you. I can never be afraid of you. My man, we can never be afraid of you people. Okay? We are all what people are doing and what people are planning for. We are producing one material. These are machines, man. This is just a sample, okay? Many are still inside. Yeah.
So I see, okay, good
man. They're gonna receive what or what?
No be lie, nah. Men are I put celebrity girlfriend.
This is AKA Gentle Yahoo. We have come today for the respect of Igwe Itozo, the General Commander in Biafran. We are here live and direct to pray to God Almighty in the Chukwokika Abiyama. To pray.
Just yesterday, Fulani herdsmen invaded one of the village in Ebonyi and they started buying people there. Are you getting me? Things that has stopped happening before in Biafran land is now happening again. Where are all these security personnel that are being formed anyhow? Where are they? Can't they go and fight those Fulani herdsmen that are buying people anyhow in Ebonyi state? I don't know if our eastern governors, I don't exactly know what they are doing. The only security they are forming is to go and fight their brothers, but they cannot go and fight the invaders, the foreigners that are invading the country or that are invading the land, buying people. This is not fair. Just few days ago, the appeal court of Nigeria affirmed that IPOB is a terrorist organization. Guys, I want you to understand this. Connect these dots. The Nigerian government is playing a wonderful game here. Listen, they are playing a very, very serious game. The moment Simon Ekpa was detained, everything started escalating. Everything. I don't know if you are understanding this thing. All the insecurity started worsening. So many things. We can see so many videos from produce that is in also local government in Imo State. What is happening there? A number of people that we are being by, but we can't share the video here. Are you getting me? I am able to see Honyonya Heba Makanamana Batiana at this platform. So that is why we are just telling you guys what is happening or what is going on right now in Biafran land.
Tinubu gave that order to kill people in Lekki toll gate. You didn't see him to tag the Yoruba race, a terrorist organization. It is we, the Igbo, that you are tagging a terrorist. Tinubu is a thief, a drug lord. That is who Tinubu is. We are not scared to tell Tinubu. So, and you are here to proscribe us, the indigenous people, which means all the Igbo race now, the Abuja courts has proscribed us a terrorist organization. Just to humiliate the Igbos. That is why Tinubu kept quiet. A thief, a drug lord. That is your president. There is no kind of corruption that is not happening under this Tinubu's administration. To the extent that this man bribed his way, gave the paid off $400,000, $450,000 for immunity in America. To the extent, as we speak, paying 2 million naira for his name to be cleared in America. How desperate he is. You have not cleared your name, but you want to make us to become one of the bad people, the Igbos. You want to tag us as terrorists. You want to tag Igbos as terrorists. If I keep telling this animal, this Tinubu, this idiot, this illegitimate president of Nigeria, this man that came through the back door, that never won election. In his life, he has never won any election. All the elections Tinubu has been winning, he buys them with fake documents. A person who nobody knows where he went to school, nobody knows his schoolmates, nobody knows his family member, nobody knows anything about him. That is the president of Nigeria. And have the temerity, the audacity to call Igbos a terrorist, the indigenous people of Biafra, because you have been given 60 days in the school of the Southeast to evacuate. And that's why you came out to call me a terrorist.
You see, Stephen Cross is very annoyed with the Nigerian judiciary, what they are doing, the way they are acting, because the presidency has bought them over. How can you proscribe an organization that are peaceful, that is peaceful. The organization that has so many offices around the world, that the world recognize and see them as a peaceful movement. It's only in Nigeria that IPOB is being prescribed as a terrorist organization. What does that tell you? Nigerian government know exactly what they are doing. They are so scared of Biafrans. They are so scared of Igbos. They don't want anything about us to be. They don't want us to achieve our goal, because once Biafra is being achieved and Biafra stand as a nation of its own, we will become the second Japan in the whole world. I'm telling you, we will start manufacturing so many things because we got the brain. I ain't with the brain. We got the brain. We are not dull. I ain't with the brain. Biafrans, we got the brain. Apart from our mineral resources, we got the brain to manufacture and to take ourselves to a very sky limit. I don't know if you're getting me what I'm saying.
A terrorist. You are calling me a terrorist. God will punish you, Tinubu, and the idiots that proscribed me a terrorist. Because I think you people don't even know what IPOB means. You just come and then you make it look as if we are the bad one. Oh yeah, now let us go. Shebi, we have declared our nation. Sign us off from Nigeria. Tell us to get out of the whole of Nigeria, so that we'll go to Southeast. And you are here calling me a terrorist, and you want me to be happy. A man who forged this way, a man who declared himself the president of Nigeria by 4 a.m. when people were still asleep. Nigerians woke up to find out that Tinubu has become the president of Nigeria. And you're calling me a terrorist. A man that would catch terrorists that carry sophisticated weapons, killing people, going to villagers to decimate those villages, going to villagers to unalive people left, right, and center. When they arrest them, they will bring them in less than 24 hours. They will tell us that they have changed, that they are now repented Boko Haram, they repented terrorists. And then they will resuscitate them back to the society. Give them firearms to go to the Southeast to kill people. That is what Tinubu's government is made of. And you have the temerity, the audacity. Who made you the president of Nigeria? Illegitimate president. All the people that walks around you, including all the whole judge, are fake, illegitimate. None of them has certificate. None. Tinubu has no certificate of any school. The ones he presented were fake. A man that went to University of Chicago, he entered as a man, graduated as a woman. Is that not mysterious enough? Your vice president is breeding Boko Haram. Your vice president introduced Boko Haram to Nigeria. And you were not able to call him a terrorist. You are calling us, with the indigenous people of Biafra, a terrorist. Shetima is a terrorist. He founded Boko Haram. And you are here to call me a terrorist. And you think I'll be smiling. You think I'll be smiling. You think I'm here to smile. You think Biafrans are here to smile with this illegitimate government of Nigeria? That's why you see him anywhere. If he's going for meeting, he's always looking like an outcast, because they know, and he knows within himself that he never won this election. He was never competent to win this election. He's not a competent man. He's incompetent, and he knows. And that is why he looks very inferior when he's within the presidents of the whole world. And you are calling me a terrorist. The same people you are calling terrorists are the same people you are burning their markets, you are destroying their houses, worth of millions. Yes, they are calling me a terrorist. The man that owns Landmark Beach, this man brought almost 30 million naira. Google it, is on the internet. $30 million to put up a very nice out-looking place for people to go and enjoy. Landmark Beach. His name is Paul something, Olu or something, an Igbo man. Tinubu's government went to destroy those investments worth of $30 million. 1 naira compensation has never been given to this man because he's an Igbo man. So they can destroy our properties, no problem. Our people can die, no problem. And still yet, you still label us terrorist organization. Who gave you, who are you? Who gave you that right? Because you feel that you're a president, you're a fake president, a thief, a drug lord. You came through the back door, so nobody recognizes you as the president if you don't know. That is why your presidency can never strive. That is why you can never make any headway. All you do is propaganda. The kind of propaganda. Everything you do is propaganda. Fake. Thief. Onyoshi. Ekperima. Deriko. Even Derry is even better than you. Abakari that went and started killing our people. You didn't label him a terrorist. You labeled me a terrorist. They're labeling the whole Igbo race terrorist. You animal. Drug lord. You have the temerity. And when the judge said they've labeled IPOB a terrorist organization, it is only in Nigeria that IPOB is a terrorist organization. Only in Nigeria. We are in almost 120 something countries in the world. 100. None of these people has labeled us a terrorist organization. Musa understands that self-defense is not a crime. They were using arms to destroy us, to kill us, and now we armed ourselves. So when they come to kill us, we retaliate. They started calling us a terrorist. How do we become a terrorist? Have you seen us in any bomb, going to blow up a building or, destroy a building, go there to raise, have you ever seen us in such crimes? Why labeling us a terrorist organization? That is my question, you animal. Shetima is there, you didn't label me a terrorist. Fulani bandits, criminals are there, animals are there. You didn't label them a terrorist. Fulani that goes to villages, ransack the whole village. Because you are an illegitimate president of Nigeria. You have the temerity, the audacity to call us a terrorist.
So this is exactly what is happening in Biafran land. Gentle the Yahoo is not afraid of anybody, according to him. He said that he's not running away from anywhere, that he is in Okigwe, that they should come and find him in Okigwe, that he is going to buy them, all of them. Are you getting me? Thank you, my fans. Thank you, everyone, for watching this video. Remember to subscribe with us, Magnetic Jigs TV, for we remain the best. Guys, things are happening now. Things are indeed happening in Biafran land. These few weeks, things are happening. So many people have been by. So many people have been by anyhow these days. Things are happening indeed. May God save us. Amen.
You remain in the soil of Biafran land. You must be a magician indeed. We have been saying it, we have been joking, but this time around we are out for you guys. Ndi Allah, Ndi Oshi, you've labeled me a terrorist so that you can send army to come and kill us. You can send your troops to come and unalive our people. We are here to defend Biafrans. And anybody that any army kills will come for you. We are not scared because we are now a full nation. Are you calling me a terrorist? Why are you calling Mazi Nnamdi Kanu a terrorist? A man you went to kidnap. You have not been able to, find out one thing against him. You have not been able to put him down with one conviction. Nothing. This man has won you in all courts. And you still have the temerity, the audacity, the effrontery to call me a terrorist. You mad idiots. Look at Tinubu talking, calling people terrorists. Look at Tinubu's office, calling me a terrorist. Can they hear this kind of thing? A man who went to forge the certificate, a drug lord, a man that killed people in Lekki Toll Gate, because Tinubu controls Lagos. The governor of Lagos State is his boy. So who ordered the execution? It's Tinubu. A man that has so much blood in his hand that you are here calling me a terrorist. God will punish all of you. They want to proscribe me because you are in power. so that you can have your way to demolish us. No, it can't happen under our watch. Tomorrow people will say, what proof do you have? Who ordered the shooting in Lekki Toll Gate? Is it me? Is it the Igbos? When they came to kill people there, did they ask who was who? They killed regardless of who was there. Just fighting for the betterment of the country. They fired regardless of who you are. They don't care. They didn't care if you're Yoruba, Hausa, or Igbo. And this idiot, animal, has the right to call me a terrorist. Anyway, Biafrans, I'm very angry this morning in my spirit. We've given Nigerians 60 days. God will bless you and make una remain there 60 days. In our land, and you will understand where we're coming from. Believe that, because we're serious.
This is the end of our news update. Please click the icon on the top right corner of your screen to watch my next video. You will enjoy it. I will see you again in my next update. Enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye for now.